Alright, I think we're live. Am I live? Are we live? Is this real life? Let me see. Hey guys, how goes it? So we got actually Sam Crooks was first. We got DP Murray in the house. Benji, Biggs, how goes it? Hey Benji, thanks. How you doing, guys? So today's altcoin story is oh wow, okay, more people are popping in. Hey, Niles R, and we got Matt. Hey, how goes it, Matt? Thanks for joining. The Coinily, 9th. Hey, look at this guy with the numbers and math and counting, and I don't even that many. The Coinily. I want to pound that like button. Yeah, you could tap that. Just tap that like button. That'd be nice, guys. I'd appreciate it. Red last. Hey, how you doing, Walker? Yo. All right, so let me get into the topic of the day. Or not topic of the day, but altcoin of the day. I wanted to cover a different coin or token or ICO or something different in crypto, just to talk about something different. Golem. We got Golem over here, known as GNT on the exchange. Its rank is number 26, and it's currently worth 30 cents a coin, a token. Right here you can see there's 1 billion GNT total supply. That is a lot. Hey Igor, how you doing? Right now we have 833,032,000 GNT circulating in supply. Benji, tap tap tap, 21 million club, how goes it? So if you go down to the chart here, you can see Golem started out at about a penny, a little over a penny. And it just rode that penny price very comfortably on the way up. And it just kept going. I think I personally got into Golem right around 5 cents. I got some Golem at 5 cents just because I thought the project was interesting and I wanted to contribute to the project. Not really thinking, oh, I'm going to get rich. I just was like, yo, this is a good project. I hope it works out. Here's some money. Good luck. And it went up. And as you can see right here around the 20-cent line, it found its true value. It had a bubble, but it bounced back down to that true value of 20 cents, and it's going back up. That's comfortable knowing that, you know, it didn't go below the 20-cent marker there, and I think that may be, if it hits that again, that 18 to 20 cents, that may be considered a buying opportunity for those who wanted to get into it long term. Short term though, who knows where this is going. It's a really cool project. You can click on the website here and it will take you to Golem's website, and you can see that they have a YouTube video and some information here. Golem is the new way the internet will work. I like the confidence, Golem. Golem is a global, open-sourced, decentralized supercomputer that anyone can access. It's made up of the combined power of users' machines, from personal laptops to entire data centers. I do believe we're allowed to use the video down here for creative common use or whatever, so let's go ahead and see if you can hear this. Let me know if you can hear this video, guys. Thank you.
Is a creature from Jewish mythology. It's a
creature
creation of man that collects all the bits of pieces. Well, Golem essentially is made of mud. And
so Golem is made of mud.
With sheer power and something that haven't existed before, and give us opportunities and possibilities never seen before.
Thank you.
We are quite convinced that not so far into the future, internet will be much more decentralized than it is today. And
thanks, Ben.
This will require new infrastructure.
And Golem seems to be the ultimate solution to this problem. Not only to distribute computation, but decentralized distributed computation. Golem is a new way of distributing computing between computers over the public network, where users can sell their redundant computation power to users who need it.
This means that you can compute your tasks.
1 billion Golem.
Technically, Golem is a peer-to-peer network, meaning that users join on an equal basis and there's no central authority or no one is more important than anyone else.
You can use Golem for scientific computation, for AI. Artificial intelligence requires quite a lot of computation. Distributed, you can split it into small tasks. I don't know, in chemistry, for example, you can search for new molecules. Golem would do the job perfectly.
For example, when you are an artist or an architect that has created this 3D model of a house, and we like to see a photorealistic image of it, so you can use Golem, split this task into smaller parts, then send it to the network, and each person will compute a small part of the image. And
that's pretty gangster, guys.
This in the same time, so everything will be quicker. And then the results will be sent back on the artist machine, and Golem will put it together.
Weather modeling, folding proteins, research for new medicals,
or even mining cryptocurrencies. I would say that the sky is the limit.
I think Golem AI may be a good thing.
You have it in a cloud, you have it even in hosting of services, you have it in a cloud storage. So what is really new that we plan to use not a
Merch Studios, everybody needs help with their marketing.
We want to give you a possibility of using the power of computers around you, contributed to the network by other people, your neighbors, or people living in the same country or in the same continent, for money. So
dude, that's awesome.
For using their computers.
And this is where Golem, with its significantly lower prices, will be.
Hold up. You know how cool this would be if you could like build a platform? Does anybody here use Plex? Plex? That would be so cool. That like, cause like basically that is a supercomputer, decentralized. Not really, because it's all video that you're sharing. But your computer has to be running in order for the people you're sharing that network with to access the movies. So if your computer's running and you're basically just doing that to host to, you know, what about Minecraft? If you wanted to host a server for Minecraft, or if you wanted to host a server for Plex, you have a computer running for these hosting services anyway. Just let somebody borrow the extra computational power and you could earn some income, or you could program this into those things and end up earning in the background while you're running your Minecraft server or while you're running your Plex server. Yo, let's watch the rest of it. It's only 3 more minutes. We already made it halfway through. Might as well finish it.
And a very attractive alternative.
And of course, not we will pay the money, but other users who are in need of additional computing power will pay for using other users' computers.
Oh, you can pay to use my computer. That's cool.
Down to commissions for every transaction between users of Golem network. So this means there will be a fee on every completed computing task, or on every unit of time software as a service is applied to complete these tasks.
Users can join Golem to become producers or consumers of computational resources, or to switch between the two roles.
This means that we will join the market of software as a service and infrastructure as a service, which could potentially grow by $40 billion over the next few years. Just the idea that you could rent your idle computing resources for money seems to be a very obvious way of organizing internet. But that is the technical part that is difficult, and this is what we spent last year on.
The first one is transaction system and payment system.
For microtransactions, the transaction fees, even with Bitcoin, are so large that they will sum up to an amount that is bigger than the payment. Okay?
Okay.
So we have to come up with some micropayment scheme.
We're going to use Ethereum. Ethereum is a new blockchain technology that can be used to implement a contract that would, using some sort of lottery, send the money to participants.
User that has to pay organizes a lottery in which only one participant gets paid. This lottery approach may seem unfair for most.
Yeah, I was just thinking, that's pretty unfair.
But if a user takes part in a lot of lotteries over a period of, say, a few weeks, then over time, in the long run, her income would be predictably the same as if she were paid small amounts each time.
Provided that you still take part in computation. that should make people more interested in taking part in it.
So you can imagine a golem as some kind of extension of Ethereum that will bring
no lottery for me.
powers to the table.
There will be a problem with unfair users. For example, we can imagine a situation where they're in the network.
Hey, thanks, Chuck Norris.
Who want to be paid, but they don't want to compute anything, or they just send wrong results. We implement ranking protocol, especially for them, so that they won't take part in computation and the network in general. We know that they can appear from time to time, but we have to get rid of them as soon as possible so that other participants simply can do their job. At the end of the day, we hope that Golem will not only give scientists and businessmen a new way of doing computation, but will also change the way internet is working. Golem, for me, is a challenge. It's a very challenging problem, but the problem that we know how to solve. And yeah, it's undertaking that I believe can result in something spectacular.
Golem, worldwide supercomputer. All right, hey Igor. Yes, I like the idea of competition though. Good luck competing with AWS and MS. Yeah, I get that. But here's the thing. There shouldn't be just one. You know, if there's a problem and there's a solution to that problem, just because somebody started that first or maybe does it better in one sense of the feature, does it better in your opinion, that doesn't mean that people shouldn't try to capitalize on that. You don't want a monopoly on decentralized computational power, because then eventually they'll run into scaling issues or bottlenecking issues. The more people that get into solving the same problem, the better the problem is solved. And maybe for investors, that's something that they want to think about. But as a user, I want to be the user of something like this, or I want to be the guy renting the extra processing power from his laptop because I'm at work all day. I could just leave this plugged in, and in a sense, it would be like almost like mining. I'd be in a lottery. Instead of getting Bitcoin for mining, solving equations, I get Golem for helping solve computational issues, programs, graphics, whatever they're using the memory for, the space on the computer for. I really like the idea of it, and I think that we need more people that come into that are, we got to stop pitchforking and being such tribal mentality. Like, we're so tribal where it's like, this is the only one thing. But, I mean, you don't just go to ShopRite, you don't just go to Acme, you don't just go to Pathmark, you don't just go to Walmart. Each of those stores serve, like Home Depot and Lowe's have the one thing they're good at and one thing they're bad at, and then if Lowe's doesn't have it, they tell you to go to Home Depot. If Home Depot doesn't have it, they tell you to go to Lowe's, and they compete with each other by trying to mark their prices down, by trying to become more affordable. They compete with each other by trying to be better customer services than each other. So when you have companies that are trying to solve the same problem, they're competing with each other to gain your love. So Golem, AWS, MS, all that, they're going to have to compete for love. And that's going to keep them trying harder and harder. And especially going from, what, a penny to 30 cents in a year. Was that a year? That was impressive. All right, so you can go over here and see that they have the white paper. You can check out the white paper. Yes, Igor agrees. Thank you. Benji agrees. Competition makes the healthy marketplace. Thank you. I thought I made a good point. I don't know, guys. I'm just an enthusiast. I'm no fucking expert. I love how people get mad when I don't know things or if I say the wrong thing. Please correct me if I say something wrong, and please just let me know something if you don't think I know it, because I'm just like you. I'm just an enthusiast. I don't know anything more than you. I'm not all-knowing, and I hope that you don't think I should know everything just because I have a YouTube channel with 3,000 subscribers. That's a little ridiculous. I do not know everything. Right here, though, on the Golem final white paper, you can see that this is their grand vision, the core features, the overview of the Golem project. We can read a sentence from each. We already have a good idea. Golem is the first truly decentralized supercomputer, creating a global market for computing power. Next one, first sentence is, Golem connects computers in a peer-to-peer network, enabling both application owners and individual users, requesters, to rent resources of other users, providers, machines. That's pretty friggin' neat, man. I love the idea of a decentralized, what do you like? I don't want to keep saying supercomputer because I guess that is what it is, but it's still, it makes you want to call it like Skynet. Like, this is going to be the program on Ethereum that turns Ethereum into Skynet. All right, next one, we have the next paragraph. First sentence is, the function of Golem as a there we go, hold on. The function of Golem as the backbone of a decentralized market for computing power can be considered both infrastructure as a service as well as platform as a service. So that's pretty cool. It's an infrastructure, it's a platform. All right, Frank the Tank, I heard good things about it. Yeah, I think Golem has an awesome appeal to it. I think they're trying to solve a real problem. I don't know so much about long term, but right now, I like to put, some faith in him, thinking that hopefully it works out, because I want to live in a world where something like this exists. And if you think about it, if you watch HBO, the TV show Silicon Valley, what they're creating, Pied Piper, is essentially what Golem is trying to create right here. I'm sorry, what do you mean have the answer? Sam Crooks, does Golem have currency transaction wallets like other cryptos? Jax, JAXX.io, their wallet holds GNT. I don't really know exactly how to answer that question. I don't understand it exactly. But I would just think it's a cool project, so I bought a couple of the tokens a while back when they were like a nickel. I don't know if I'll buy any more or whatever. I just thought it was a cool project when it came across my table, and I thought I'd show you guys it. So, we're about 15 minutes into the show. I wanted to go ahead and talk about the main story of the night, the Bitcoin topic of the night. This is the Bitcoin story of the day by John Buck. It's about 10 hours old. It has over 11,000 total views and almost 300 shares. So if you look in the description box below, you'll see a link. Click on that link. Go ahead and give this article a view on their website, and go ahead and share it so it can get some more shares. Yes, the Coinily. I have a few in my Mew. That's right. Your My Ether wallet will hold the GNT Ethereum ERC20 tokens, so you can do that. I actually have a video in the works for how to use your Ledger Blue to hold your Ethereum tokens through myetherwallet.com. Yes, emojis will help get your questions seen. Please use an emoji at the beginning or at the end so your comments and questions stand out from each other. What token will allow people on the blockchain to lease others' Ethereum for a monthly fee? I'm not exactly sure, but I know you could... actually, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure you can use certain exchanges out there. I don't know if Poloniex has it, but there's exchanges out there that let you lend your coins out. So you can just find the right exchange for you, and you can lend your Ethereum out that way. I think most people go with 2-day loans on automatic reoccurring. That way you can cancel it. In worst case, 2 days you can withdraw your stuff. Not out of the woods yet. Yeah, I know. Okay, so back to the story here, guys. John Buck wrote an article called BIP 91. Lockin leads Bitcoin higher despite weekend worries. And as Ross said, yeah, we're not out of the woods yet, but this is more so for people that like to short. I think people that are out there that are like, oh, I sold my Bitcoin, I'm going to buy it back, I'm going to make more money. This is the hype that they like. I just think this may produce a buying opportunity later on because of the hype of this causing a high, but I'm not going to plan on selling just because. Anyway. Alright, so you can read along with me. I, full disclosure, kind of have dyslexia, a little bit of social anxiety, so reading publicly is something I'm trying to work on, and this is forcing me to do it, so Yay. The recent lock-in of the BIP91 upgrade to the Bitcoin blockchain has excited large numbers of otherwise nervous investors. Miners were signaling 97% as of Friday, effectively locking in the BIP91 solution as well as segregated witness, SegWit. The news sent Bitcoin price soaring. Within 24 hours, the price had increased by nearly 40% on the week. Now that was crazy, guys. It went to like 1,800 to 2,800. That was amazing to see everybody who was like fudding or FOMOing, and just it was amazing to watch the piranhas. Sorry, where did I leave off? Within 24 hours, 40%. Yes, with good signaling to investors that Bitcoin would continue to maintain its otherwise foolproof tech stability. Other cryptocurrencies also took a hit, with Ethereum, ETH, and Litecoin both having a rough week in terms of value. I think they both had buying opportunity terms of value, especially Ethereum, who went down to what, 150 and now bounced back up to 2 something. I honestly think that the whole Ethereum ICO bubble is just bullshit. I think Ethereum's going to do just fine. I think Ethereum found another use case by not just being smart contracts, but by also being the Kickstarter, GoFundMe of smart contract based ICO tokens. So 2 use cases, and the more and more ICOs we see, the bigger and bigger it's going to get. So I think we have a long while for this. However, some have continued to offer potential pitfalls, saying that there are still a number of hurdles to be jumped in order for this solution to be implemented, which is true. We're not out of the woods yet, like Ross said. We're definitely not out of the woods. I think that we have a while to go. Definitely at least till the end of November, December, when we get up and cross that bridge where we have the 2 megabyte hard fork. We're not out of the woods, especially for the, in general, Bitcoin splitting and forking, but the scale, we got SegWit. We got it. Now we just have to wait and see what happens throughout August 1st to August 4th with USAF BIP 148, and then we have the Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin ABC, Bitmain, ASIC coin, as you can call it. But yes, so as the weekend continues and the rally keeps its footing, the naysayers are likely to start dropping away. The value at press time right now is $2,770.50, nearly at the end of its week peak, $2,813. Investors should begin rejoining the bullish run-up as the potential for infighting decreases and stability continues to mature. Bitcoin is... This whole thing, guys, is here in this moment to better Bitcoin. Bitcoin is about to get an upgrade, an update that's going to make it better. This caused a price decrease because people don't understand that. And when people don't understand things, they FOMO, they FUD, they freak out, they make bad decisions. But it creates opportunities for people who do know, who do understand, that I took advantage of, most of you took advantage of. We bought, we didn't sell, and now we're ending up 40% up. and that's what it takes. It takes that confidence in what we're all trying to be a part of. We're trying to, I mean, as far as I am, we're trying to compete with the Federal Reserve. We're trying to compete with a government. We're trying to compete with banks. And we're not going to do that if we just keep running around with like chickens without our heads, you know? So we got to calm down, relax. And I think people are too involved in Bitcoin. I don't know a single person with a bank account that cares as much about fiat as they do 5 minutes after they buy $1 worth of Bitcoin on Coinbase, and it takes 15 minutes for it to show up. The research that people do, as soon as they lose $1 on Coinbase, or it takes too long for $5, they become like astrophysicists that just go straight up to the woof with the ones and zeros, and now they're geniuses because they spent 15 minutes researching Bitcoin because they lost $1 because they didn't know how to use a public or private address. And they never looked up how the US dollar works a day in their life, but they have hundreds and thousands of dollars in the bank. Stop running around like chickens without heads on. Hey, thanks again, guys. 21 million club, euro that like button. I mean, pound that like button. Ben, thank you so much. Ken, is there going to be 2 Bitcoins, meaning Bitcoin splitting in half? I personally do not believe it. I'm not an expert. I don't know shit. But in my heart of hearts, I don't believe they're going to want to play chicken with their bread and butter. I think we're going to see everything work out. I think Bitcoin will stay on the straight and narrow. Worst case scenario, somebody makes up an altcoin and it confuses everybody. Just like a couple months ago, Bitcoin Dark and Bitcoin something else. I mean, they went, the volatility in those two, because they had Bitcoin in the name. I can't remember. Whew, got the hiccups. I can't remember the exact Bitcoin, but I think it was like Bitcoin Dark and Bitcoin Max or something. But they went nuts. So around August something, if we have another Bitcoin that looks like it forked or split, but it's actually a altcoin, that could cause a problem. But I don't think Bitcoin's going to split. I think everybody's going to stop with the bullshit. And I'm not going to worry about it because I'm going to let the smart guys worry about this shit. I'm just an enthusiast. I don't worry about how video game designers process the graphics in the video game. I don't care how my Xbox compresses the graphics so it can be run at power efficient so I can watch it on my TV and not worry about the electric. I don't care about any of that. I'm a user. I just want to play my game. I just want to use Bitcoin. I just want SegWit. I don't give a shit how we get it. I just want it. Bitcoin Plus. Dude, thank you. That was really bothering me, like right here. I knew it was Bitcoin Dark and Bitcoin Plus. Almost have 50 viewers, 50 likes. You know what? If we get to 50 likes, how many likes do we have? If we get to 50 thumbs up, I'll do the Litecoin giveaway. Or we get to 100 viewers. Either way, I'll do the giveaway. I do have Ken coin before 2018. Omer Frockin... I hope I said that right. Batten. Thank you, man. That would be cool. I do think I should make a Waves token. Maybe I'll make a video on how to make a token on the Waves platform, and then I could figure out how to do like an ICO, but like I just give it away or something. I will figure it out, and we'll have 10 tokens out there from the Waves platform. Yeah, Bitcoin Unlimited and Bitcoin Plus, man. And then now what if we have Bitcoin Cash? Just pops up out of nowhere. Just pops up out of nowhere. The giveaway, look in the description box below, guys. I do believe I set the timer for the giveaway to end at 10:30. So right now, you go into the description box. There's a link in the description box for Gleam. Click on that. All you have to do is make sure you're subscribed to my channel. And at the end of this live stream, I will pick a live winner. You have 72 seconds to enter. It is in the description box of this video. How many entries? We have 5 entries. 5 entries. We have 50 people watching and only 5 entries. Please, guys, go in the description box below. Click the link. Enter to win. Alright, guys. And now, I do have a guest I wanted to bring on the show. I hope everything here works out. I'm just waiting for him to call in. We'll see if it works. Can you grab me my phone? I need to speak to my guest and see where they are.
I found it.
Yes. Alright, guys. Have you entered? You have a couple more seconds left to enter to win the giveaway. Okay.
Are you going to do the giveaway first?
Yes, I'll probably be doing the giveaway first. We have a couple seconds left. All right. Now let me see how to do this.
It's all done.
I think if I hit that button there and swap over to this, that should work. Give me 1 second to make sure YouTube catches up. Okay, so I'm just making sure everybody can see what I see. Give me 1 second.
Mine's pretty bright.
Alright, cool. So I can see that you can see what I can see. Let me go ahead and refresh this. Okay, great. We have 13 entries. I do not know if it has ended yet, so I will wait the 1 more minute.
Oh, mine's ended.
All right, on my end, I have a couple seconds, so I do want to make sure everybody has a chance to win. All right, we have 15 entries now. 17 entries. Oh, we're still going. I wish people read the description box.
I was putting it in there.
I will try. Yes, I have my girlfriend here trying to be the admin of the chat box. She's going to be there, guys. So if you can always hit her up. All right, so I think it's over now. We can go ahead and pick the live winner of the 0.1 Litecoin giveaway. 17 entries. Let's go ahead and draw the winner. 1 winner. All right, so we're drawing the winner for the 0.1 Litecoin giveaway. And the winner is Ross, bro. Dude, that is awesome, man. He was blowing up the chat, too, so I'm so happy he won. All right, Ross, I'm going to send you an email in a little bit. All you have to do is respond to that email with your Litecoin address, and I will go ahead and send you some Litecoin. Congratulations to Ross. That is awesome. I'm going to try to do this every night, but the goal is to get to 100 live viewers every night. That way I can kind of afford this to make basically break even off of YouTube. All right, so Ross is the winner. Now let's get on to the main event. James Bond, thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I have James Bond here from the James Bond YouTube channel where he talks about crypto and stuff and such. James, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody, let everybody know who you are, how you got into crypto, and what you do in the industry.
Well, hello everyone, I'm James Bond. Oh, I can hear your echo.
Let's take a test and make sure they can hear you.
Hello?
I can hear you fine, sir. Go ahead.
All right. This is James Bond. Maybe most of you know me. I'm also known as a troll here and there. But mainly what I do is I trade peer-to-peer using Bitcoin and mostly Bitcoins since I got involved. I started trading, or I bought my first Bitcoin back in 2013. Right just before November, right before at the price when the price was $250, and then it spiked up to 1,000, and then of course I experienced the Mt. Gox, and then after that I started trading peer-to-peer, and I've been doing that ever since then.
Well, that's an early time and a crazy time to get into Bitcoin there. And personally, I think you're probably the crypto's favorite troll. Everywhere you go, people, and if you're not there, people ask, why aren't you here yet? People love it, man, and I think most of the YouTubers even enjoy the trolling. I mean, I know I do.
Well, thank you, Ken. I love trolling you the most.
That means a lot, man. So, I was on your show not too long ago, and we were talking about how things like seem to be a real coincidence in this space, like how Alphabet gets shut down, the CEO kills himself in a Thailand, prison, and how, it could possibly be related to BitConnect. Dude, I slept after that and had the craziest dream, and I just think that your way of thinking is so outside the box, man. But I mean, it felt, after I thought about it more and more, it does feel too coincidental. After you came to that conclusion yourself, have you thought any farther about it? Like, this could be the closest tie to how they actually make profit.
As far as the video with you and me and talking about BitConnect, it's kind of worth talking about, because in this space, it seems like anything goes. And if you can, if I was, let's say I'm a drug dealer, or maybe a card or a credit card person, right, making fake credit cards, or a gun dealer, a legal gun dealer, and I didn't have any money, and I didn't want to risk my money being seized or taken. What's a good way other than ask for other people for their Bitcoin and promise them like a 1% return every day on that's like if you consider it a legal activity. And the reason I said that is because how can a site offer 1% a day, which equals to 40% a month, in interest for loaning your Bitcoin. That almost seems too much like Trenton Shavers did, and that was a Ponzi. Everything about it seems like either it's a Ponzi or a pyramid. But everyone you talk to says, oh no, it's not a Ponzi or a pyramid. So if it's not a Ponzi or a pyramid, I'm thinking, well, what other ways can they make that interest? And I'm thinking right off the bat, it's got to be an illegal activity, because where else are you going to make profits where you can make 5 times the amount of your original investment, and then you cut off 40% of the people who gave you the Bitcoin and just, shave it off to them, as for saying thanks for loaning me, your Bitcoin so I could buy off the dark markets and not risk any of my own money, but I'll risk your money.
Yeah, exactly. I'm risking somebody else's money. Don't have to worry about ever risking my own. And if everything always works out, we're in profit. And as long as people see profit, they don't care where it comes from, apparently. That's all the proof they need. I didn't want to just get stuck on that topic. I did want to see if you had anything that you wanted to talk about. I do know that you're very interested in the whole, the SegWit fiasco as well. What do you think what direction do you think this is going to take us in? Do you see a split happening? I know everybody keeps saying eventually we're going to fork, but that's in November. I'm talking about this now. Do you see a potential split in Bitcoin, or are you with me on the whole, in my heart, I feel like in this game of chicken, everyone's going to come to an agreement and we're going to just have Bitcoin being Bitcoin like it's always been Bitcoin, but now we're going to have SegWit?
No, I don't think that there's going to be a split.
Okay, good.
Not August 1st. Because if the miners all agree to SegWit, there shouldn't be a split. There's no reason for a split. Only if they pull out. That's the only time you could see a split. But so far they've signaled. So I'm assuming since they signaled, they have the intent to run SegWit, and so the August 1st, user activated soft fork, I don't think will have any effect to it. So I'm probably going to be sleeping in or be at the pool or something like that. I'm not too worried about it. I'm more worried about the 2 megabyte hard forking that they plan to do. That's more worrisome for me, and also this supposed ABC hard fork that they're going to try to peel off before or after, maybe shortly after August 1st, and try to do this secret hard forking. And you kind of see some of these, I think there's something being done, because you're seeing via BTC that just had an exchange, and they're offering this BCC token where you have to give up your Bitcoin and they're going to freeze your Bitcoin, and basically they're promising you a BCC token, which is the ABC fork, or maybe the 2 megabyte hard fork, one or the other, and they're just trying to pump up the price. It seems like there's a particular group who's front running all this, and I don't think anybody's really buying into it, because it makes no sense. Why would we give our Bitcoin that's worth $2,000 and receive a $900 dollars worth of tokens? This token that's only worth $900. It sounds stupid. It sounds like someone's trying to pump up a potential token that hasn't even been created yet to see if they can entice any miners to join them, which it sounds very nefarious. Everything that's been done sounds very strange, because when I look at the blockchain now, I think you can do transactions with 0 fees. It'll take a day or 2 days, but you can do them.
Yeah, and again, Bitcoin isn't and wasn't intended for buying coffee, that wasn't the intent for it, and that's what a lot of people, and I'm coming to agreement on that myself. I thought it was, that's Bitcoin's supposed to be feeless, it's supposed to be free, it's supposed to, and nothing in life is free, and the fees are what actually make Bitcoin. So we all have to, and again, to backtrack a little bit and segue into what you said, I don't want to let go of that topic because it did come to mind that the most concerning part about everything in the news right now is that August 4th to August 5th ABC, or Bitcoin ABC, or Bitcoin Cash, or I think that was Bitmain, right, who's flexing on that?
Yeah, I believe so, that it was Bitmain that wrote a blog on that, and it seems like they were going to try to do a hard fork. It sounds like they're playing out all their hands.
Well, I heard that was very ASIC motivated.
ASIC boost?
Yeah, I heard.
To do a hard fork?
Yeah, I heard we could call it ASIC coin once it comes out.
yeah. I guess I don't know. I'm highly suspicious of everything that's been going on, because I'm also looking into the Lightning Network and seeing how that works. And even then, that takes some time, and there's some risk to it. I'm not a professional by any means. I'm just like you, Ken, and I'm just like all your other viewers. You know, I'm just a regular guy. I don't have any masters in cryptography or computer science. But what I can do is I can watch a video, I can read, and I have access to the internet and the library if I want to go to my local library and learn about this stuff. And what I'm learning seems to be very different than what the atmosphere is like. The two things doesn't seem to, what's really happening with the technology and the technology itself and what is being done in this space as far as jockeying and political moves and this game theory bullshit, it doesn't match up. It's something's being manipulated here, and I think we're all being played, you know, and we're being played to certain people. You know, we're being politicized, right, to whatever side, the left side or the right side, the black or the white, top and the bottom, and I think how can I say this? We're being convinced to believe in something that may have nothing to do with the technology.
Okay. So you think that it's just some cannon fodder?
Yeah, I think it's cannon fodder. I think it is, because I looked at Lightning Network and try to, now that it might happen, like I'm not going to do any research into the Lightning Network because it's not here. Why the fuck would I care about it if it's not here? I'm not going to waste my time researching. Now that it's almost here, I'm trying to learn more about it and see how it works. And even then, you know, Lightning Network has some issues too. Yes, you could buy some coffee and you have to lock up your coins and my coin and build these fucking channels and all this stuff. It seems kind of complicated.
Yeah, I've
you need a lot of people to participate to make this thing work. So right off the bat, you got to have a lot of people have these wallets and open channels with each other to make this whole network, the Lightning Network, work. That's not what's really interesting to me. The paying for coffee with zero fees. That's not what's. I'm not really interested in that. I'm more interested in the atomic swaps myself. Yes. That's more interesting to me.
Yes. And dude, do you think that exchanges though and miners like miners of Dash, miners of altcoins, like not really the miners, I shouldn't have said, the exchange owners though, like Poloniex, Kraken, Shapeshift, where they make their bread and butter by trading coins. Once we have atomic swap, we don't need exchanges. We don't need, I mean, they'll still be there for traders, but essentially we don't need them. And I think they're going to be motivated to try hard to suppress that.
Yeah, it's very interesting. What I've noticed since 2013, that every time you improve upon Bitcoin technology, it really displaces the current business model in which everybody built their business model on this idea that you can have this transaction for buying coffee, and then the exchanges started coming online. To some degree, I think Coinbase is stupid, and BitPay is stupid. The concept of a merchant processor, because you don't need a merchant processor to take Bitcoin. You just need a wallet, and you can start accepting payment. Those are for like Main Street people who have no intention of ever holding any Bitcoin. They just want to cash out. They're just literally using it as a means to take your Bitcoin and for other people to cash out. Those people aren't contributing to the Bitcoin economy. They're actually causing the the price to be depressed.
Wouldn't you?
And
But wouldn't you consider that contributing though? I mean, people who trade it are doing the same thing that you are saying that the merchants are doing. And I'm only saying this semi-defensively because I'm a merchant who accepts Bitcoin, and we hold 10%. We use BitPay, and we use that because it keeps track of the incoming and the holdings and what we got that Bitcoin amount and what it was worth at the time. And then as a business, if we decide to sell that Bitcoin, we would know how much to gain as profit on it. Like if we were to buy an accessory to resell, if we buy it for $5 and sell it for $10, we have to claim 50% profit on the item or whatever. And those merchant services like or point of sales for merchant services like BitPay and Coinbase, I think they are serving their purpose in the time right now. Like you said, businesses don't need that, but it is how we're going to get them used to this. It may not be the perfect way. It may not be the best way because, like you said, they're not holding it, and it's not like they're buying their stock, their inventory, or they're paying their employees in Bitcoin after they hold it. But they are out there and helping adoption in some sense. And I don't think the fact that they're converting it right into USD hurts too much. And unless you get merchants like Walmart that are going to be, getting Bitcoin and selling it right away in large amounts, bigger stores than that even, that do daily business on the high volume. I don't think that them getting paid in Bitcoin and then reselling it is going to affect it any more than the exchanges and the traders do. But I think that they are serving their purpose right now. I just think that that's the best that we have in the network. Like the internet in the 90s wasn't designed for 4K streaming and 360-degree angles, but we got there. And eventually, right now Bitcoin isn't for coffee because of the fees, but eventually we'll get there. It's a technology that will eventually catch up to, or it'll just keep growing and we'll find more and more use cases for it. And then we'll have more ideas to build on top of it that it's not yet ready for. And we'll be right here having the same discussion again where we're like, oh man, it'll never get there, but in time, man, in due time. And I think that the merchants are doing a service the best that can be done. Like it's really, the IRS doesn't even know how to handle this. So it's really hard to convince a business to just hold Bitcoin and use it to buy their inventory and pay their employees when at the end of the year, everybody's going to be shoulders up, hands up, I don't know what to do, Once we figure all that out, I think people will get into it because businesses are going to realize that if they accepted Bitcoin for their whatever it be, 3 weeks later when they went to do their payroll or, a couple days later, depending on the business, they realized they made some value in that because it's a decentralized currency. And over time, it tends to gain value. But I didn't mean to cut you off there. I just think that they're doing the best they can for what we have right now.
Yes, I agree. They are doing the best they can, and the only reason they're useful is because you can cash out with them. Other than that, you really don't need them because right now you can do all that yourself.
Yeah, but that's a lot of work.
You can become your own merchant processor, and you just need to get the software. There's software out there that will track when you received it, at what price. You can set the exchange on top of that. And then what you can do yourself, if you wanted to make a little bit more money, is you can sell that back out to the open market with a premium. So not only would you be you'll be saving the cost of the transaction of BitPay and Visa, MasterCard, and all those other merchant credit card processors. So you would save 1% from Coinbase right off the bat. You would save 4 or 5% from Visa. So already you're making money on that. And then
that's actually pretty genius.
Yeah, well, this is something that I think it's already out there. No one talks about it because it destroys Coinbase. It destroys their business model. It destroys BitPay's business model.
Well, I mean, I sell Bitcoin.
Right.
I mean, at my business, we sell it. So, I mean, that makes total sense. If I accept it and people are paying for, cell phone repair in Bitcoin, I hold it and then I sell it back at a premium. That's actually not a bad idea because that does contribute to the Bitcoin economy.
Yeah, I mean, what Coinbase and what BitPay does, it drives the price down because people want their stuff in cash, right? They're not interested in, and it was pitched that way back in 2013. This is better than Visa, or we could beat Visa, and that's how they built their business model. But now things have changed where that's not the case, and that's one of the reasons why they want bigger blocks to suit their business model. But it's at a cost. It's at a risk to the users and the whole network. But like I said, you could do that right now. You could be your own merchant processor. You could be Walmart, and you can use Bitcoin to process for yourself. And you could literally cut out Chase that charges. They probably did a sweetheart deal where they're only going to do 1%.
Mm-hmm.
But 1% of $1 billion is like 100 million. So if you can imagine that savings you can have at that kind of economy of scale, that's huge. And so a lot of people are shitting their pants. Even Bitcoiners, people in the Bitcoin economy who built these business models, they're all shitting their pants because this is gonna kick them out of the business. You know, I mean, if you think about what Bitcoin really is and how it's being used, or how it could be used, I mean, the dark markets are really a good example because. You notice Alphabet never used Coinbase or BitPay?
Yeah, they had their own economy.
So, yeah, it was a circular economy, and if they did cash out, they probably cashed out to wherever, their local economy or wherever they were. They paid their partners out in Bitcoin, and then their partners dumped it in their local economy to get their local cash, or maybe they used it themselves to buy Lambos. So
Lambos.
So yeah, this is you can see where a lot of people would want to try to take over the narrative of what Bitcoin is and how to go forward, because again, a lot of people built their business model on an early technology of Bitcoin, and now it's kind of different, and it may be displacing them, and they don't want to be displaced.
Yeah, I see that. I definitely do see that, and it's almost like that. The best analogy I could probably come up with is like police don't want there to be less crime because then they wouldn't have a job.
Yeah. That most likely they wouldn't have a job.
Yeah, so Coinbase, and that's what I was worried about when I think of like the atomic swap and everything. I'm like, wow, you could really see like exchanges and people that have Flex really just having the ability to push against that concept, where you could see a lot of FUD being created around Lightning Network or around the atomic swap ability or around all these things being created by who knows, because they do have incentivization to prevent Bitcoin from becoming its full potential, because it basically takes them out of existence. Just like it's taking the banks out of existence, eventually Bitcoin will end up superseding the need for Coinbase itself, and Coinbase doesn't like that.
Yeah, and on top of that, Coinbase and probably BitPay, they, when you start a business or any business, you in some ways become a partner to the state. You become a tax collector. You have to collect taxes for the local state or the local city, and then to the state, and then eventually to the federal government. That's the kind of partnership that happens when you become a business. And also, Coinbase not only does that, but they've also become an agent for the IRS and also to the FBI.
Yep.
So there's no benefit in using Coinbase. And on top of that, here's the other thing: when you become a merchant process for yourself, and you can use any token. You don't have to just use Bitcoin. You can accept all of them. You can even accept PIVX if you wanted to, but I doubt anybody has. There's no real market for some of these altcoins.
Will work for Doge.
Yeah, we'll work for. but here's the thing: is you can set the price as someone who accepts whatever coin you want. So, Coinbase, what they do is they work on a spread as well, on top of charging you 1%.
Oh yeah, dude! Somebody pointed that out to me.
You could say, okay, I accept your coin at a lower price than the spot price. On top of that, you make money on that, and then when you sell it above market price. So there's many benefits. The only drawback is that there's really a low adoption rate. If you compare the rest of the population and the people who actually use cryptocurrency, it's very small. It really is. Like if you went down to a stranger and you asked somebody about Bitcoin, there's a good chance that they don't know anything about it. So the adoption rate is still small. So if that could be increased to the point where I would say at least like a I don't know. There's nothing like it. Like a small percent, at least 1 to 5% of the market, you could see some traction with it. You could possibly see some traction, but it's not gonna, like, Bitcoin's not gonna completely take over yet. But you could see the potential for it if it does take over. It would literally wipe out banks. It would literally wipe out credit card merchants. It would wipe out most of the exchanges. There would be very little exchanges. There might be some for those people who still have bank accounts. I think banks will still be around if this succeeds, but there'll be a limited capacity. But there might be still exchanges for people who actually have fiat US dollars and they want to onboard for purposes of onboarding. But once they come into the ecosystem, they can stay as long as they want. And if they really want to participate, they should be trading peer-to-peer. And in other words, they should be working with individuals like you and me to trade in and out into the fiat. Like, it may not be 100% Bitcoin, but it could be a good portion, maybe even 30%. It could be a Bitcoin economy, and maybe the rest of the 70% could be a cash economy or something like that, where you still need the US dollars, because there's still going to be taxes. There's still going to be, I hope the IRS is abolished by then, but I don't think
that the IRS stands a chance when it comes to Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin will be the end of the IRS as we know it, and they're going to have to rebrand and figure something else out. They're just, with Bitcoin, the whole idea of it and the way it works, it's just not cost effective to go against the grain. And that's the IRS. They're going to be going against the grain. Nobody is going to be cooperating as much as they're going to need it. Taxes is already hard as it is, man. Who the hell does their own taxes? Like, everybody goes to like H&R Block or the tax app or something. But I don't know, man. I gotta wrap things up.
You pay taxes already without even doing your taxes.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Property,
that's the thing, though. I don't think that they're going to be able to collect But if you're a merchant and you accept Bitcoin, and I'm the customer, and I just do the Bitcoin transaction, there's going to have to be a whole lot of honesty and openness and transparency on your end as the merchant for that, because you don't technically, it's going to be hard to prove what you got it at, what you sold it at, how much you got, what you sold it for, what you got for it, what you traded it for. So even taxing the transaction, I like to fantasize, and I think I told you this before, I like to fantasize about the IRS trying to just become a giant mining operation that somehow becomes self-sufficient, and their tax is the transaction fees that they collect from the peer-to-peer transactions, and they get the mining rewards like every other contributor to the network, and they use that to keep everything going. Because there's no way to keep track. You would, as a business, there would have to be laws that are created that are going to be so annoying to follow that nobody's going to want to do it, and it will be hindrance. But they're going to make merchants use a specific, point of sales wallet that works with the government in keeping track of everything, or they're going to figure out a way to work with the ISPs and track as much as they can that way. But I don't think that's going against the grain. I don't think it's going to be the most beneficial. But to wrap things up, James, I got a couple minutes left. I did want to ask you a question. So, what wallet is your wallet that you recommend people to use, and why?
For long term, I recommend using paper wallets, and the reason is because it doesn't touch the internet at all. And it's very secure. Paper wallets have been around before hardware wallets, and I haven't heard any report or any news of anybody getting hacked from their paper wallet. And that's just the long term. The short term, on another thing, on the paper wallets, you can spend from it. I use Mycelium as a way to spend from my paper wallets because it does not keep the memory of the private key, so you can sweep. It doesn't even sweep everything. It's just you scan it, and then you could send out the amount just like you were working with the hardware wallet. You just
Oh.
send out an amount from there, and then all it does is the Bitcoins go out and they come back in again. So it's just like having a normal wallet. It's no different.
As long
people
as
say it's
Mycelium
not secure.
forgets, as long as Mycelium forgets the private key, that's actually really interesting. I didn't know that personally about the paper wallet. I didn't know that Mycelium wiped their own memory of it, and it was pretty secure. I thought once you pulled some off, you might as well pull it all off because the security of it has been, you know, tampered. You've used it. So that's really good to know that you could use a paper wallet with Mycelium basically as a hardware wallet where you can pull just enough that you want off, but you can constantly keep uploading to it. Now, a lot of people do ask me those questions, so I guess I should make a video on that.
Well, I've done many videos on that, and I've been using my treasure hunt wallet that way, and so far no one's hacked my treasure hunt wallet. The other wallet that I also recommend just for temporary use, just to like your giveaways and stuff like that, I would recommend Coinami because you can set the transaction fees, and so far I've set 0 transaction fee on Dash, Doge, Litecoin, and that's about it. And they all go through. I haven't done any on Bitcoin, but I'm gonna do that pretty soon, just to prove to people that you can still put a 0 transaction fee. I don't know if you can or not, but from what I can tell, looking at what's this site called, bitcoinfees.21.co, you can see that there's people sending 68 transactions with 0 transaction fees. So it's possible now that the mempool has gone down. You could definitely do that. So Coinami wallet's a good one because you can set the fees, but that's not long term. That's just short term. I use that to send to my paper wallet, and paper wallet is free.
Yeah, paper wallet is free. A lot of people think you have to pay for it somehow. It's funny that that's like one of the first questions I get.
I could start charging for paper wallets.
Yeah, I think some companies
print them out.
Some companies do. So I got to wrap it up, James, dude. I really thank you so much for being a guest on the show. Go ahead again, let everybody know where they can find you. Obviously, it's the James Bond on YouTube. Is there any
You probably want to do a Google search like James Bond Bitcoin, because it's really hard to find me because you try to look up James Bond and you're going to get like a million James Bonds and none of them are me.
Gotcha. We did just post the link in the chat box, guys, so if you click on that link, I will have a link in the description box below as well. So if you go ahead and click on that, you can go ahead and subscribe to James Bond. It's highly recommended. And like you said, he already got the videos most of you guys were asking me about that paper wallet, so definitely head on over, check him out, subscribe. Make sure you turn notifications on. James Bond, thank you again so much. Have a day.
Okay, thank you.